The land, Scotland. The year, 10,040 AD. And our protagonist, Macbeth, Thane of Glamis, general to King Duncan. For many, it's hard to believe that Macbeth was looked upon greatly, and was one of the most trusted men of Duncan, came to betray him, caused one of the bloodiest tragedies ever. We are going to find out and follow this tale of Macbeth and his fall on this week of Bloodiest Tragedies of History. We begin this tale with a battle between the Scottish versus the Norwegians. In the battle, the Scottish were led by Macbeth and Banquo. The battle is looked upon as Macbeth's crowning achievement, as during the battle, Macbeth beheaded MacDonaldwyn, captured a traitor who was the Thane of Cawdor at the time, and it's said, without him, the Scottish would have not had won.
Yes, Macbeth was a great man, and a man who I put my greatest trust in, so much so that I even named him Thane of Cawdor, as there seems to be a curse that whomever is Thane of Cawdor will betray their king. So I decided to put my most trusted man there, Macbeth, as I know he would never betray me, and I know he would not fall to some silly curse.
Your Majesty, he did betray you. He's the one who killed you.
Oh, damn it.
What happened afterwards to Macbeth and Banquo after battle is a very mysterious moment in the story. For after meeting up with the army in Banquo, they noticed a change in Macbeth's behavior. As for what truly happened, we'll never know. But it has been noted that there were sightings of witches in that area that day.
That evening, it was decided that Duncan, his sons, and the Thanes would stay at Macbeth's castle, and guests said that Macbeth and his wife were most wonderful hosts that evening. The next morning they awoke and found their king dead. Of course we were upset. He was the best king we ever had. And it didn't help that his replacement made Duncan look even better. Why do you not attend the crowning? Someone just felt wrong about the whole thing, as if everything just went too well for Macbeth. Indeed, something was wrong. Macbeth had the main suspects killed before they could tell a thing. The princes fled, with Malcolm heading to England. And Macbeth was crowned king the day after.
When we come back, death continues to loom over Scotland. At this point, things were still going alright for Scotland. But, on the evening of the banquet, Banquo, who was the only one with Macbeth at that unknown time, was murdered. While no real evidence exists, all suspicions point to Macbeth as being the mastermind behind the murder.
As Fleance, son of Banquo, and the one blamed for the murder, would have no reason to have murdered his father.
But most of all, suspicions are most raised at the banquet, where Macbeth began to act very strangely and talk of murder, and that he was not guilty of anything. Lady Macbeth tried to cover everything up, saying it was a common occurrence. Today, Macbeth headed to an area that had been having sightings of witches as of late.
Why was he going into our area? I don't know. Maybe he was going for a walk. And wasn't he supposed to be going batty or something?
What is your reaction to claims saying that the witches had something to do with the chaos ensuing Scotland at the time?
Who have been saying such things, darling?
Oh, people like Pexter Pad, Head, Mr. Jones, and Will Macduff, are to name a few.
Thank you, dearie. Now, about those claims, I just think people are being prejudiced and racist against us witches. We don't really curse and eat babies and do all that stuff. were quite nice.
While this was all going on, Macduff headed for England, where Malcolm was staying. What seems like punishment for leaving, Macbeth had Macduff's family killed. What was your reaction to their deaths? Whose deaths? Your family's.
Did my children die too?
Yes, I just said that.
My wife too?
Yes, they are all dead.
Did my children die too?
While Macbeth was off turning Scotland into a hellhole, Malcolm, Macduff, and most of the Thanes began planning an attack and overthrowing Macbeth with help from England. However, Macbeth did not seem to fear this coming attack, even with all of his Thanes leaving, his wife going mentally insane, and their treasury disappearing. We have found a person who is said to be very close to Lady Macbeth, and knows many things that have been going on. Due to request, we will be having her identity remain a secret.
Why did Lady Macbeth go insane and kill herself, you ask? I don't think she killed herself. No. She's far too smart for that. She probably just faked being insane.
Do you have anything to say about the treasury disappearing?
Treasury? I don't have anything.
And what about the very same herb that was used in Romeo and Juliet's tragedy, the one that simulates death, being found in Lady Macbeth's room?
No comment, dearie.
Malcolm and the Thanes assaulted Macbeth's castle. While the battle was going on, it's noted that Macbeth was saying strange things like, "No one born of woman shall harm me." For many of Macbeth's men noted that when Malcolm's army came carrying branches and trees from the forest, Macbeth looked very shocked. And at the end of the battle, Macduff, who just so happened not to be technically born of woman, beheaded Macbeth. And thus, our tragedy comes to an end.
Yes, I think things are going to be okay now with my son in charge.
Silly, I don't care. I'm rich.
Yes, I think we're going to be entering a golden age with our new king.
So Malcolm, you said his name was?
The creators of the show have realized they have made a mistake in stating the time period at the beginning of the show. We will now fix this problem. Next week on Bloodiest Tragedies of History, we cover another story of betrayal, when the former butler, Malvolio, goes on a killing spree in the land of Illyria. Next week, 13th Night.